Hi, I'm Rhett with TestingTheory.com. If you want more winning tests, there's an optimal number of variations that you should be testing with. When you have the right number of variations, you're more likely to win. And when you're more likely to win, you get better results. Too many A/B testers out there only have one challenger. When you only have one challenger, you're less likely to get winning variations. To do better A/B testing, you need to have more variations, and there's an optimal number of variations that you should have. There's two main benefits to having more variations, especially more than just one challenger. The first benefit of having more variations comes to us from math. The more variations you have, the more likely you are to have a winning result. And let me show you the math behind this. If you have one variation against one challenger, you have a 50-50 chance of winning and a 50-50 chance of losing, so your odds are 50-50. Now suppose you throw in two variations against the one challenger. Your odds of winning just jumped from 50% to 66%. Now suppose you have three challengers against your one control. Your odds of winning have now increased to 75%. 75% of the time of you challenging your control with three variations, you will get a winning experience. All of this assumes that you're not running very dumb variations, but the math behind it just makes sense. If you throw out more challengers, you're more likely to get a winning result. There's also probably a sweet spot. If you continue to add challengers, you're more likely to find a winning result. However, there's a cost of adding every new challenger. For every variation you create, you have more time, expense, and design and development and creativity that has to go into creating those. So what I want to show you is the diminishing return you get when you add more and more variations. When you added one additional challenger from 1 to 2, your chance of winning went from 50% to 66%. So that's a 16% increase. That alone should show you that you should always have at least two variations to challenge your control, assuming you have the traffic to support that amount of variations. When you go from 2 to 3 challengers, you go from a 66% chance of winning to a 75% chance of winning, which again is a 9% increase in your chance of winning. If you go from 3 challengers to 4 challengers, your chances of winning go from 75% to 80%, which means you have a 5% increase in your chance of winning when you add that 4th challenger. You'll notice that every new challenger you add, you get a diminishing return on the possibility of a winning experience. If you have 5 challengers, your chances of winning are 83%. This time it only increased by 3%. If you have 6 challengers, your chances of winning are 85%. So again, now only increased by 2%. So at this point, you ask yourself, what's the trade-off? If we put more time and effort into creating additional variations, your chances of winning are getting higher and higher. They're up to 87% with 7 challengers. But the trade-off is it's only 2% better than having 6 challengers. And so there's a sweet spot probably for your company. Knowing the simple math behind this, you can identify the optimal number of variations that you should create for every test you run based on the amount of traffic you have, the amount of resources you have, and the likelihood that you'll win based on the simple math behind it. Remember, at a very minimum, you should always have at least 2 challengers just because the odds of winning jump 16%. From 50% chance of winning to 66%. I like to have at least 3 or 4 challengers because I want that added assurance that I'm more likely to win with a winning experience than just going at 50-50. And again, if your time and your resources and your traffic support it, the more variations you make, the more likely you are to find a winning experience. 87% chance of winning, those are great odds. Anyone would take that bet. And the more variations you create, the more that number increases. So that's the first reason why you should create more variations. It's just math. When you know the math behind it, you're more likely to win because you can find the optimal number of variations to create. The second reason why you should create more variations is because of the creativity factor. When a designer or a strategist or someone in the company is forced to come up with more variations, that challenges the creativity. And whenever you get more creativity flowing, you're more likely to find solutions to problems that your visitors have, and you're more likely to create winning experiences. All the math aside, if you have the traffic to support it, you should always create more variations because those variations help you learn about your visitors, they challenge your creativity, and they push you to create better experiences for your visitors. So in summary, I encourage you to create more variations, maximize your math potential and the opportunity that you might win with every test. Maximize the creativity inside your company, leverage those good ideas, and create more variations to create more winning experiences for your visitors. Keep in mind your constraints. If you have traffic limitations or not enough development or design resources or just resources in general to create those tests, you may want to limit the number of variations you have. If you don't have constraints, create more variations. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you found this helpful. If you liked it, please give me the thumbs up, like the video. Please also subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every Thursday, so you can get the latest updates on videos just like this. And visit me at TestingTheory.com, where I have additional videos that go more in depth, to have deep trainings on testing theory, testing strategy, and how you can get better results with each of your tests you run.